Touch New Zealand's coverage of the Premier Touch League is brought to you by SAS Sport and One Foundation. It's the Premier Touch League.
Tēnā koutou katoa, and this is round 2 coming at you from the Premier Touch League here in Te Waipounamu. We are in Otautahi, Waitaha, the beautiful lands of Ngaitahu. I'm Hikapene, and joining me for this round, next game is none other than Liana. Morena, Liana.
Morena, Hika.
Hey, it's good to have a local here at the Nga Puna Wai. Now we have a men's match for you, Te Waipounamu taking on the Barbarians. The Barbarians team are made up of New Zealand rep players from the 16s to the men's, and Te Waipounamu from the top of the waka to the bottom of the waka. Really excited for this one, Liana.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 2 different styles of games coming up, of teams. You know, you've got the Te Waipounamu boys, and it's quite a young mix, new development side, and then you've got sort of a lot of old hands in the Barbarians side, led really well by Graham.
And here's your Te Waipounamu team. We've got Fawkes, Ferguson, Trey Russell, number 3 from Otago, Catamol, Morgan, McGee. We've got number 6, Jaden Watson, Burgess, Johnson, White, Tulio, Aaron Five-Ash. Now watch out for him, he's a local boy. We've also got Huri Orway, Gold, Saunders, Hume, and Kirk, and Polder. Pewini is your coach, and his co-coach is Kyle Newton, and Kath is the manager. And we're about to tap off here. We've got the Barbarians there with Raiki, and also looks like Shan Atomuri, co-captain.
Yeah, here we've got Mita on the ball now, straight onto that 5, off the deck, nice little 32 play, heading out to E4 Jones there on in the link position. Yeah, nice defence by the Te Waipounamu men's team there. There's Mita Graham, full of experience. E4 Jones here. Watch a little pet play here from these two. Great defence by those Te Waipounamu boys. I know that that's going to be something they work on today. Just staying connected will be really what they are after. And I did see Polder before the game. He looked nice and relaxed and calm coming into this. I know this Te Waipounamu team, they don't get an opportunity to train together because they're all sprinkled throughout the South Island. Yeah, that's right. And see, that was a really good transition from them. They're going 5 to 5, a nice driving dump, a pick there from the 7, and I'd be really happy with that. A completed set of 6. And good field position. Yeah, number 7, Josh Burgess on the ball there. Here we go, Mita Graham, Hamilton boys, Waitere Touch Club, E4 Jones. There's a few stars on show here in the South Island today, Liana. Yeah, that's right, and I think if these Te Waipounamu boys can just weather the storm of this Barbarian side, a nice pick there from the number 10, good catch, and just a bit short of the line, but great defence by the winger. Yeah, number 9, Awa Morris, he laid a nice strike plant there for Portene Rolls Paiwai. Here we go to Waipounamu, they're going at it, straight up the middle there. Touch 2, coming over, getting some fresh legs on, all off the mark. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate because they had some nice drives coming off that line. It's going to really set Barbarians up for a play just short of their try line. Yeah, and if you don't know, the officials, they're all mic'd up now. So the call come from the sideline. It's come from Richie Heap to Courtney Hawke. So now the refs, I guess the on-field ref only needs to worry about what's happening in front of you. Absolutely. It makes the game a lot cleaner, and especially for spectators watching at home, you know, they can see that they have to work as a team. Oh, nice touch there. These boys have definitely come to play. That's Jay Hill, Catamol. Hopefully I've pronounced your name correctly. Here we go to Waipounamu, just going up the field there. If they can get this Barbarians defensive team rolling back, Liana, they're definitely going to be a lot easier to hit on the back end of the set. Yeah, that's right. And, you know, we're coming in, that first 5 minutes of a game is really important, and it's still scoreless. But giving repeat sets to this Barbarian side isn't what you're after. Well, Carlos Savage, more experience out here. I liked how you put it before. There's a good sprinkle of new players and experience in this Barbarians team. Yeah, here we go with the number 17, Carson Hepe coming on, setting up. He's got the pick off dummy half, a quick release. Again, nice defence, just getting in the channel, but he won't get away with that. The referee is going to pick that up, and a penalty to Barbarians. Yeah, that was Shan Tomuri running a phase play there.
Once again, like you said though, as we said earlier on, it's probably better to give away a penalty than a touchdown.
Yeah, and if they can stay connected here, so this got a lead defender out for Te Waipounamu, but the touch was made on the link. A nice smooth dive to the ground, but a good touch there by number 10, James White.
Carson Heppy. Therefore, quickly, so we've got Wilkie here, we've got Shan Tormuri, Touch Blacks, E4 Jones, Alpor there to just running him, working the defence here.
Again, another penalty just short of the line, I think. But I like that James White, he's staying connected with his middle, so there's no gap in there for that Barbarians side to find.
Yeah, we can hear them communicating, they're pointing, they're pretty clear on who they're defending. There's Shan Tormuri, he's trying to get nice and low there. Seems like their sequence players definitely to have a quickie on this link, Liana, then send it back to the other side.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. They'll look for a different type of play, going back the other side, long ball from E4. And just a nice catch and pass in the corner there for Maraki Omua.
Yes, out of the Manawatu there. Nice finish there. Yeah, it was like they run a little sweep play. They come back door, check, and then E4 Jones from the hip over the top. And young Maraki Omua touches down for the Barbarians, and they head out and crack this game off with a 1-0 lead over Te Waipounamu Men's.
And so they're going to have a crack off the tap-off here and see if they've got a set play. Looks like they're going to try for a sweep, but dragging over for that 33 peel. Long ball left to right in the corner, just not finding the man.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful pass. I'm sure that was Angus Fawkes out of Otipoti there down in Otago. He's definitely got a lovely pass. They probably went away from the platform. They tried to find the defender.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, with Angus Fawkes and a few of the other boys from Otago, they were in that 21 men's final at Nationals earlier this year, so they're getting a lot of experience in this realm of touch, in this elite grade.
Nice hunger too from the Southerners. Unfortunate there, they got on side and then rushed, but looks like Courtney Hawke caught a couple of them leaving early.
We need the discipline really. If you don't want to be defending the entire game, this Te Waipounamu side. But that's a nice profile run from the link of the Te Waipounamu team.
Yeah, trying to run that little passive play there. Well read from the Southerners.
We've got Mitter in here, just arranging his setup for the players.
Oh, and lucky to get away with that plant. It was quite a weak plant there. Got to be really strong at this league.
Now what Te Waipounamu need is a good transition out of that red zone. Get into that safe area, out of the orange. So that's dump 2. Heading over to their box and get some fresh legs on. James White with the ball now. Just latches in for a nice dump. This is a really good drive, good dump, just needed that dummy half to be there a bit quicker. The downtime was a little too long. Still playing the ball. Nice completed set of 6, Hicker.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great set of 6. Good defence down the other end. And the Barbarians, they're straight back on it. Nice and direct. Once again, just need to be a bit stronger in the ruck. That's better rucking from the Barbarians. Marching up the field, making quite his Tormuri. He's just going to get the right target. Carlos Savage goes into the half. Right to left, over the top, beautiful. And that was all done at speed, Liana.
I was just going to say that the pace of that set was what really got them that touchdown in the end. So we see on the replay, beautiful dump and pick, huge right to left.
And maybe their winger wasn't a bit tight, just foot, but that's what happens when you get rolled through that orange part of the field.
Yeah, that's right, and it's really hard when you're on that back foot to get back and push forward in the right channel. But so here we have it, Barbarians 2-0 currently.
Tap off here. Look who's on the ball. I think we've got Fawkes, he's back out there. So we could get they could be running a 32 play with him on the end. They're just running the sweep play, going to check back.
Yeah, this is probably one of their wee combos that they've set up. Being that we've got boys from Otago and Canterbury, it makes sense for them to run those sorts of combo plays.
Oh, he's got nice speed here, just trying to find a Trey Robinson open. Did he get the ball away?
Yeah, it looked really clean to me. We're going to check with the sideline referee. Courtney Hawke out there speaking to Richie Heap, and what does he think?
Yeah, look, it looked like it was an early touch and then ball down.
Yeah, that was beautiful play and really well done to get free of that defender.
Excellent work, and like to see who actually got in the in goal there, because there's nice speed coming out of the half. If we get a replay coming back up here, but they're on the scoreboard now.
Yeah, and I think they deserve to be. You know, they've actually weathered quite a bit of attack from the Barbarians, so that'll put them in a positive mindset.
Yeah, 2-1 Barbarians lead to Waipounamu. There's Portini Paiwai, rolls on the ball. They get really, really easy yards, so touch 2. This is where you'll see the platform strike dump go. There's Owen Morris. E4 Jones here, going to run a little short ball over red there. Yeah.
What a beautiful play. You know, you'd want to show a lot of people that if you're watching at home. Get the kiddies around, because that was just a really well thought out play. Eagles on the ball, looking like he's going to go long, but then that just short chopper. Owen Morris.
I think they sort of overread the play.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, that's class right there. So they strike straight back there. The Barbarians lead. Unofficial score at the moment is 3-1 to the Barbarians. Just coming into this first quarter of the first half, there's Five Ash with the ball. Local boy. He's got a bit of game up his sleeve too. 13 there. All running the fake sweep.
Yeah, it looked like sort of that passive line coming around, and like you said, Five Ash he's been in a lot of programs with the New Zealand teams over the past few years, so hopefully his experience and leadership will guide this young team.
I like their energy here. They move forward. They don't wait for the teams to come to them, to Waipounamu. Here's Tormuri. Yeah, you wouldn't be happy with that pass, especially straight out of the sub box.
And that might be a credit to that to Waipounamu energy in their defence. You know, they're not taking a step back; they're trying to take it towards them, and now they've got this repeat set in the right end of the field.
Yeah, I agree. Here's Trey Russell, number 3, dummy half. Seen him a few years with the under-16 Otago boys. Good to see him come through and take these opportunities.
So we've got some organisation there with the number 18, Nick Saunders. He's telling his teammates where he wants the ball, looking like a long left to right, but that defence on the wing there for the Barbarians, he read that really early.
A good read there by the Sunny Tahira in there for the Barbarians. Good read by the winger. Here we goes Carlos Savage, Tauranga Moana, number 13. He'll just go forward and direct and work all day. On come the fresh legs, and that's that energy from to Waipounamu. That was a great touch. Lucky to get away with that, the Barbarians.
Yeah, I actually really thought that was great, because they sent up 2 defenders and really congested them to their sub-box side. So unfortunate that got called, but they're back on it again. Front football.
Here's Paiwai, Portini. They definitely stopped the momentum.
That's right.
Yeah, and once again, I'll tell you what, they seem to be really into their groove now to Waipounamu.
That's right, and if they can stay direct like this and just get through this orange channel, get those fresh legs on. I mean, look at that drive out of the box. Lovely, clean dump. Now they want to try and get it to the middle of the field so they can have those options.
In the ruck, and the locals, they're not getting any 50-50s.
It might be their land here, but they're not getting the rub of the green. So if they keep this momentum up in their defence, though, and not let them get ahead of it.
It's happening all very quick. Look at this, great yards. Here comes Mita. He's on the field. Nice, that's beautiful yards there. This is a nice platform to strike off. Yeah, needs to keep the strike rate up there.
I think maybe just rushing it a little bit, just a bit of patience from the side. I mean, they've got a lot of old heads leaders in the side, so I'd be expecting Mita just to slow them down maybe a little bit.
This is good work again.
So to Waipounamu, coming quite tight to the box there. We've got White on the ball, nice clean dump again with a beautiful drive right through the middle. And on the ball there, that number 13, it's Aaron Five Ash.
Yeah, a little bit of experience on the back end of that set from the Barbarians. They sort of suck away from the touch off the ball, so they get onside a lot quicker.
I mean,
good touch.
Both teams currently are just heading straight for their box, aren't they? Just trying to be way more direct.
Yeah, definitely. It's a nice end-to-end touch that we're watching. Here's Carlos Savage, another right to left. He's been practicing back at Tauranga Moana.
And they've managed to defend that set out again. So Te Waipounamu really staying in there in this fight. We call this the grind, really. You know, they've weathered that first 5 minutes, and we're getting into the back end of that first half.
Nice work, and there's Watson. Good plant there. They just need one more strike dump here. Going nice and strong. There's Fawkes. All he needs is a strike. There's Morgan McGee. They just need to manipulate this defence a bit better. Yeah, they pull away here. Here goes Fawkes.
you know, still, I think Poland will be really happy with their sets of 6 because they're going end to end. They've always got some option on the back end of that last dump, and maybe getting Angus Fawkes just to sort of arrange that a little bit easier before he comes out of the box, because I think he's going to be key to that attack down that end.
Yeah, and that was good work. Good to see Cameron Wooten, the official. The Barbarians, they pushed out, they sucked out, then they pushed away. Once you go forward, you can't drop back in.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
He's finally pinged them. But I agree, if I look at the Barbarians, they've got quite a lot of experienced players, whereas to Waipounamu, we don't quite have a couple. That's all they're probably lacking.
Yeah, and you see the Barbarian side, they're trying to push them out past that 8-metre mark, so that makes it hard for the Te Waipounamu team to get those 50-50 calls from the ref. So if they can get the dump in that sweet spot on the 5, so here we go, just off the 5. Messy ruck, but we're going to get the call. Another penalty for Te Waipounamu.
You've got to be really strong in this area of the game, don't you, with the ball. They're going to put some nice legal physical touches on you, you know, they're not going to let you dominate this ruck here. That's a good touch side on there.
I think they needed something off there because the ball was right where you wanted it, sweet spot of that 5-metre line. Maybe just a little bit disorganised, so some calm heads. Number 6, Jaden Watson, he's on the ball.
Yeah, I like to look at Watson, Morgan McGee. Fawkes has definitely got the long pass here. So they keep pulling out. They need to really get a nice strong plant there.
You don't know how long the referees will let that continue. You know, if they keep pulling out and dropping back in, sinking back in, then that's a penalty.
That's better. They need to really pull out the right person. They need to feed the right person.
Oh, he was through then. I think maybe he could have held that ball just that little longer and run the in goal. But yeah, they've had the opportunity down on the line and they'll be better for it. And I'm sure Paul will be talking to them in the sub box about the right play for that defensive policy.
And that's a huge win for the Barbarians. But that's you got to.
Oh, that's a missed one there, isn't it?
Yes, they've got it. I'm glad they've got it because I dare say someone would have been playing them the video later on tonight.
I think what's keeping this Te Waipounamu team in the game is that midfield orange zone D, because they've had about 3 to 4 turnovers from their energy up pressing forward.
Yeah, and that's part of the game that's what I really enjoyed. Saw that early, so Polder's definitely identified that. He's probably identified he's got a lot of young keen guys that will do whatever's asked. This is just the area they need a bit of composure, dumping on the right person. They've just dumped a bit too close. They've lost their way. It's a pity the 5 metre isn't marked.
Yeah, it's got that sort of black line there. It might be hard for them to see, but just the dump too close to the line. And again, another fumble. So this is like the 5th turnover the Barbarians had, and I'm sure some words will be said in the sub box.
Well, if you look at the amount of possession that they've turned over, they've had enough ball.
That's right.
They're just lacking just a little bit of composure and probably sticking to, no doubt, what Polder and Kyle have put in place.
And I mean, you know, this Barbarian side are an experienced defensive side. We had the sweep there, nice little dive and a smooth one. He's going to give the touchdown. Well done to the Waipounamu side.
Yeah, and that's probably the play. It's probably a nice sweep. Backdoor, he comes around. It's a real eyes up. So 15 gets out and works, but they're not low enough. It looks like 18's gone behind the line. So, yeah, just a couple of early errors. I know a lot of these players from both teams have been at airports early this morning, have just landed and come straight here, so they're probably just slowly getting their head around things.
So I think it's been a end-to-end game, really. The pace hasn't slowed down. We only got 3 minutes left in the half. Mitta's going to take it upon himself to get that good drive and drop. Dive down by 15 there, Tater Hawkeye.
And that's a famous name from the Waikato there, Hawkeye, Tater. I know you would have played against some of those Waikato women
That's
back
right,
in the day. Ravina
is a beautiful women's player. Again, some lovely defence by the Te Waipounamu side. Transition out, just get some clean drives.
That's better from the Barbarians. A young Sonny got up there, made that first touch. Here they go again. They can actually finish this half really strong to Waipounamu.
That's right, and they like that wee latch as the first one comes around, and then they go straight for the middle for that dump on the last play. Some beautiful footwork.
Nice. Got it inside, got it outside. They just need to execute here. Great touch. Excellent work there. Sonny Tuala didn't give up on the plane. He came from the left middle to get over there.
That's some good eyes up touch though, wasn't it? You know, on that last play. Keeping it alive. But Barbarians struggling a wee bit just to get off cleanly out of that transition zone.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, Shan Tomiri coming with a nice little switch slate on that fly defence. Oh, Angus Fawkes, he was up in the passing lane. He was onside. He could have gone all the way, and you just heard the crowd too. There's quite a lot of locals here. It's a beautiful venue, beautiful day here in Waitaha.
Yeah, it is, and here's Raiki, he's on the ball again, going for the quickie, but not quick enough off the deck. So Carson Hepi, he's sitting in this link channel.
Carlos Savage, little short ball, forward pass.
And a good diving touch there from the 11, Tyrese Tulial.
And it's that short ball again,
Yeah.
Liana.
I think because in the first 5 to 6 minutes they were throwing those longs, and it sort of conditioned the defence to look for those early, but actually setting up for these shorts in the later end of the game.
Yeah, and I've definitely got when I watch Te Waipounamu, I can just see glimpses of that Newcastle Knights style.
Yes.
They go to the box and they latch that pocket, that sub-box middle. Beautiful over the top there, 5 Ash. Ooh, they pulled that winger in.
Yeah, and it's a good, simple game plan from Te Waipounamu, nothing flash, just getting that latch, a nice drive dump for that 5th and setting them up beautifully. But Barbarians, they have their opportunity to drive out now, get some new subbers coming on.
Yeah, nice. Here they go, and they should move it to the middle here. Here goes Owa Morris there. Nice little slider play. Checks off E4 Jones. He's just going to use his footwork.
I think that was defended well too, because we've seen that slider play used a lot in the men's game lately. It's a trend that a lot of Australian sides are using.
That's good work. E4 Jones, he's getting off the line and getting up, putting some pressure on. And it's amazing what pressure can do.
That's the first mistake we've seen from that Te Waipounamu side when they get to their box. So we have the Barbarians, they've only got half the field to go.
They've got one more, the clock's counting down, they've pretty much got it, and that's time over. They want to man this to Waipounamu. Oh, look at him go. Ooh.
That's a good half by both teams really, and to keep the score within 1. I would be proud of that with the Te Waipounamu side.
And that is your halftime score. The Barbarians lead to Waipounamu Men's 3-2. Kia ora te iwi, no mai, hoki mai, and welcome back to the Premier Touch League. This is round 2. We have Te Waipounamu men's taking on the Barbarians. The Barbarians are leading 3-2, but the score probably doesn't really reflect the last sort of 5 minutes. Te Waipounamu come right back into that game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a really good men's game to watch, nice and fast. The pace has been really high, and just two different styles really, a more direct one from Te Waipounamu, and then obviously the attacking prowess of the Barbarian side has kept them in the match.
Yeah, I think the Barbarians, once they sort of pump up the tempo, they're quite hard to control. I think that's their strength.
That's right, so we've got Te Waipounamu on the ball with the tap off there. Nice little passive play out the back. We've got the number 7 there, Josh Burgess, on the ball.
Yeah, and they're just resetting. This is better, nice and composed. Tomuri at defence, he'll just pull square. They're going to run them here. Good work from the defence team.
And just 5 Ash there, just testing the defence. You know, like I said before, he's one of the leaders, I would say, in this side. But this is a really hard defence to break. You know, they've got some really good connections in this Barbarians team.
Yeah, nice work there. Everyone knows their job within the system. Good officiating also from young Courtney Hawke, controlling this men's game. And this is what I believe to be their strength, but they've got no one on at the moment.
Yeah, they're taking their time really to get on, and I'm not sure if they'd be happy with that, but it might be due to the pressure that Te Waipounamu are putting on them through the transition zone. E4 on the ball, beautiful wee step, and just lucky with that tip-off play, aren't they? But he set that up really, E4, just with his footwork.
Yeah, and Campbell, Lucas just stayed alive, you know, if he wasn't there. Beautiful left foot from E4, and he'll be happy with that. I know he probably wasn't happy with his first half, but look at that feet over the top, and sometimes the ball just bounces your way.
That's right, and he is a really good eyes-up player. You know, he's got so much skill out there, footwork and his passing ability.
Yes, and here we go. There's Portini Paiwai rolls, defence there. He's going to make the touch to slide it off. There's Owen Morris, all right to left, 5 Ash, little short ball. Yeah, and they're on to that.
Yeah, I think they were trying almost the same play the Barbarians had set up, but I think the long would have been on then for number 20, Harry Kirk.
This is better range of attack. I'd like to see them attack from there. Yeah, unfortunately just throwing. They're probably a little bit one-dimensional at the moment, the person with the ball.
Yeah, and you could see what they were setting up. They had that really deep link. I think he was just a little bit too slow to react on that pass.
This is better. Oh, and he lost it. Unlike, because that was great defence by the Barbarians, but I'd like to see Te Waipounamu, their range of attack about 10 out.
Yeah, and I think, you know, as they get confident, those things start to stick. And at the moment, because they don't have that much time together outside of the games, training and such, it's just finding those connections. But that's a beautiful step, and look at that gap open up for Angus Fawkes. We talked about him earlier in the game. He was going to be the difference for them on the attack line.
Yeah, it looked like the Barbarians defender sort of cornered the wrong way, unfortunately, but this is probably a lack of comms. Oh, that was a nice touch. It was actually a touch from, that was actually a great touch there from Mita, so he went and made a touch for the middle, corner back to his play, and unfortunately the middle inside, who was a man on, just got a little bit lost.
Yeah, so it was a nice wee play and a smooth dive by Fawkes. So Barbarians, they'll be looking to hit back with another one early just to nullify that touchdown. But that was a beautiful touch there, nice profile, left to right.
Nice setup too. So with that play, you had Mita Graham sitting at left flank, and so all the eyes were on him. They sold it really, really well. But good work, Mita, working with that young copper players. A lot of those boys come out of New Zealand 16 boys team.
That's right, yeah. And, you know, the defence then on the wing just got caught too tight into that link, and obviously gave too much space to that winger of the Barbarian side.
And we have an unofficial score, 5-3. Barbarians over Te Waipounamu, and they're back at it. Here's 5 Ash on the field there, working in tandem with Tulio, Tyrese. Also Morgan McGee, Brad, he's the captain of Te Waipounamu men's team. Nice speed here.
Yeah, good little sweep play. It might have been on just for that step back and release because the Barbarians' defence had really shut hard.
Here's Morgan McGee on the ball here. Just trying to pull the right player. James White. Oh.
I think the Barbarians too were really lucky there because they actually pushed them out to the 8, but then they let them come right back into the 5 and have that 5-2 easy. So this is better driving from the Barbarians. We know the transition has been a bit messy, but that downtime of the ball on the ground, it's just a bit too long.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that they'll be talking about that and working on that moving forward. Another strike dump there. Here goes Awa Morris, feeds young Portene.
Good defensive set, but good end-to-end touch for the Barbarian side.
Yeah, even though they lost their momentum around touch 3, they got it back. This is great work by the Southerners. Go nice and direct, close to the sideline, fresh legs on.
We've
Just
got
need some nice
18.
organisation now here.
That's right, Saunders, he's coming in at the ball. Some great pace by 15 there. Might have been on for the dummy, you think? I'm not sure, but that was some really good pace out of the box to just get them that energy.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, he's in the lane there, E4 Jones.
Yeah, E4, good work, nice read.
But look at this, to Waipounamu side, you know, they're not easing back and they're not giving them that ruck easy.
I think what I'm seeing is no one really wants to go forward. They're just sort of moving the ball on. That's the only area that they probably need to work on is the orange zone with the yardage pattern.
That's right, and obviously Polders recognise that where they need to stop the Barbarians is through that orange zone, because when they get down to that attack line, they're really lethal. And so their game plan's paying off at the moment. I know the scoreline doesn't reflect it, but I think they'd still be proud of their effort through that midfield.
Yeah, it's definitely an area they don't mind doing that big work.
Good diving touch there in the corner from the number 12, Marake Omua.
This is good energy coming out. That's nice work by the Barbarians. And they're just forcing errors now, purely from pressure.
Yeah, and I think maybe a bit of patience then. I don't think that was the sixth touch, so they had a bit of time up their sleeve.
Here we go, young Sonny there, checking off. Just running away from dummy half still at times. Another error.
Yeah, they will not be happy with that, because it looks like they're all sort of bailing, trying to get to that sub-box as quick as they can. And they just need 3 or 4 players to stay there, drive it out, and stay in that grind.
Yeah, I know it's happened really quick for some of these boys. 3 of them flew out of Palmerston North Airport this morning, straight to the grounds. Here we go, he's going to use his hands here. Oh, good work. Penalty there. So they've jumped off the plane straight here, warm up on the field. Probably haven't had too much instructions, but I guess regardless whether you've played together a long time or not, that is an area that should be just 1%ers.
That's right, and it's a new concept, you know, that they're getting used to, all the players. Nice little give back. And she's going to give that as a beautiful low dive there. Number 7, Josh Burgess, who's actually played a big role there on their attack line. A simple play though with that give back.
And you know, with the amount of errors the Barbarians have made, unfortunately, that's sort of what happens. If you don't treasure the ball when you've got it, you know, the amount of errors they've made.
You don't want it to be defending the line for 4 sets.
Here we go, we've got Owen Morris, Carlos Savage. Love watching that player play. He's just always comes in well prepared, real grinding player.
That's right, and he's such a positive attitude, you know, on and off the field. So we'll look for his leadership at the time.
Cameron, yeah. Oh, it's good that they're, I guess, drawing the line in the sand what the rest will put up with.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll see what sort of setup they'll have here. Got number 9 on the ball, Awa Morris.
There's young Carson Hippie, Palmerston North Boys High, out of Palmy there. Manawatu, good mixture there.
Sweet play coming around inside pass, Portini, and off the deck. There's a well-worked play, phase play, you know, that they really thought about that early and didn't just go for that first play on the touchdown.
Yeah, and once again, at speed, they just look so good. The Barbarians phase, Carlos Savage with a dump plant there, and then in the corner.
You know, for those watching, you know, that second phase, it's really vital to get that dump down. Doesn't matter where it is, whether it's a metre off the line and just get out of the way.
Yeah, nice and clinical there. So the Barbarians lead to Waipounamu 6-4, just shy of the last 10 minutes of the second half. They've definitely slowed the tempo here to Waipounamu. Oh, nice on the ball here. Here's this tuck playing behind. Everyone's pretty much running it now.
Yeah,
it's the bread and butter at the moment.
Yeah, and I think you know, they've done it a couple of times now, so they maybe need to change up the option off that. Oh, unfortunate for Fawkes.
Yeah,
I think he's going to call the repeat sets.
Yeah, E4, he got in the lane again.
And that's something like E4's played a lot of touch this year, and his experience to be able to read those indicators when to get up in that channel.
Definitely, yep, been exposed, obviously, World Cup, the NRL, the Warriors.
He's had a really good year. We've got a sweet play. Now coming around is Harry Kirk.
Richie Heap.
You
Yes.
know, for a bigger guy out there on the field, Kirk, he's getting low nice and early, so really testing that defence out right through the middle.
Yeah, definitely. Real strong looking athlete there, Kirk. Fawkes is just sitting there left flank. There goes. Oh, yeah. Oh,
What a
good honesty
touchdown.
too. Great honesty by the young fella.
His agility to be able to read what type of dive to do there, you know, it's not an easy thing. He went over the top. You can see here in the replay, beautiful dump, nice quick pass, and just over top of him.
Well, I wasn't going to mention it, but because I'm in the South Island, I am looking for a couple of divers while I'm down here. And I've just put Kirk in my power diving team, and I brought it within one. Barbarians lead 6-5. It's a tight tussle out there.
You know, Barbarians have still got quite a lot of time left in this match. Just to be patient and not to worry about that scoreline.
Look at the strike here. You got Mittergram right link there. Reiki there. Oh, a little bounce play in the corner. Oh, beautiful work. That's a nice play. Nice and easy. So
Yeah,
they
really,
come in for that 33 peel. He comes in short, then bounces him out. And he just disguises it so well,
he
Mitter.
does, Mitter. Like, watch the footwork. We all think he's going to go in, but then, like Hika said, just that bounce out, and it's really hard for the winger to pick up.
Yeah, and Maraki Omua. He's generally a middle link, Maraki Omua, for the teams that I've seen him play in. Very, very good organiser. But that's a selfless player that'll play on the wing.
Good work. And so we've got to Waipounamu attacking the line now.
We've got an unofficial score at the moment. So here they go again. They're definitely looking a lot more. Here goes Angus Fawkes. He's got a beautiful long pass to Angus.
I think he's found his confidence out there too, Angus, like trying to organise that attack line a lot quicker and earlier for his team.
Yeah, he definitely looks more confident. They all do, actually. Oh, and they've stopped this roll on now, the Barbarians. Yeah, there's that little check, so they couldn't get set to fly in their defence.
This is probably the best that they've transitioned off their line. Bringing it right across over to E4. Final touches, so that's a good defensive set, but they need to make sure they see this out. Good touch and turnover, so end to end.
Yeah, and I think these young boys are going to learn a lot playing at this level. Like that was a strike dump. Those ones you don't get wrong, and that stopped the whole momentum.
And what Te Waipounamu have done well all game is just ruck it out nice and strong, getting a clean dump. Number 2 on the ball there, Hugh Ferguson. It's 5th touch here, so going to try a little eyes up footy. A really good defensive set by the Barbarians because they've kept them off that 5 metre line.
Yeah, here we go, Barbarians with the ball. It seems like the part of the game where it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, that's right. You know, they're not looking at the score and you're watching the game. It's end-to-end footy, and so you're not sure who's going to let up. They've both stayed in the grind for the entire game. Yeah,
and Te Waipounamu, they've just stayed strong on their defence. They've stayed man as long as they can. Mitter with a nice short pass. Yeah, they just, I think they lost where they were on the field.
Yeah, because they were driving, they were on the back foot early on, and Mitter playing that eyes up type footy, looking for the long, just pumped the ball, was able to give the short.
And you know, for these Te Waipounamu boys, I mean, these Mitter Graham played over 50 tests for Touch Black Meds. Now, it's taken him a while to find his feet in this game also, which is credit to the Southerners.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Te Waipounamu, they've had a lot of time on the ball, and so it hasn't been that's really let them down, and they'll probably go away from this just looking at the types of plays they want to set up.
Yeah, definitely. I just really see that defence there. Looked like there was an overlap. Carlos Savage showed the outside, but still put the attacker in doubt.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got James White and Five Ash coming on the ball there. Huge left to right.
Even better defence too out wide there. Sonny Tehira. Nice and solid there.
So they're going to get a repeat set, and we'll see if they've got some sort of sequence play. A lot of players or a lot of teams like to just do that live play first off, just to test the defence.
There's Awa Morris, he's right out there. Here comes Portini Paiwai. This is where they need to be really organised, the Southerners. Manipulate the right, don't let the defence manipulate them.
That's right. We're watching Luke Gold here at 15. He's going to run that outplay, looking to get on the outside.
That's good, just moving the point of attack.
Yeah, I think so, because I was getting a little bit static right in the middle there. Sweeper now.
That's a recount.
Yeah, so they're actually changing up their options a little. I would like to see sort of more of a phase type play from them, I think, because they're trying to score off that initial phase early on. So we've got 5 Ash, and again, he needs to start rallying his troops, get who he wants on the ball.
And just the range, if they could sort of pull that whole back defensive line out a bit further.
Yeah, the Barbarians are doing really well at just sort of taking their time to come off that line, and it's making it hard for this Te Waipounamu side to get the drop where they want. So we've got Morgan McGee, he's come in, he's sitting there at link. No doubt he wants to get involved. Watching James White, he's creeping around the back there for the sweep. They're going to give it a step back. The long could be on here, just pulls up early. Chooses to go back inside, and not a bad play. End result, touchdown in the corner.
That's excellent attack. That's quite clinical. The defence was quite solid on the first play, and this nice little inside check, and not quite there, but yeah, they really had to work for that, and they deserved that one to Waipounamu.
Yeah, I think they'll be really happy with that, because you know it took a lot of communication for them to set that up. Had some change-ups. So still staying in there, hanging in there with just under 4 minutes to go in the match.
Here we go again, this young Sonny. Looks like Carson there.
Here comes E4 on the ball, just with that peel play, really hard to stop. But a nice defensive read there by the winger.
Here we go, looks like the two Joneses are out there together. It's looking for a strong play. Here's E4 Jones off his right foot. Late cut there. Oh, beautiful. I think that looks like brother to brother. Both the Jones boys getting in on the party.
Yeah, that's a real shame, because the link for Te Waipounamu had actually done quite a lot of work to come in and help those middles. But then when they came back this side, the number 6 Jaden Watson there. The referee calling it touchdown early before the touch.
Yeah, and we've seen it this morning, players going behind the touchdown line.
Yeah, maybe just not being aware. Like we saw that a lot with the NRL, you know, when you're at a new ground, taking observations of where the lines are, just being aware of the line.
Here we go, Te Waipounamu just on the ball here, Forks.
Setting up for that same sort of play though, you know. That's okay, changing back with that quick line. Not a bad pass though, just he wasn't in the position really. He needed to run that hook line out then in, didn't he?
It would be good to see them like really run this defensive line.
Yeah.
With their range of attack, maybe 10 out, sweep, run them, step back, little phase play.
Good positive touch there, really holding up this Barbarian side, not letting them get a run on. But here they are heading towards their box now. I'd like to see the Barbarians keep that downtime, you know, a bit shorter, because they leave the ball on the ground quite a while. We've got Mitta now, he's on the ball. Nice little change of speed, looking for the cut.
Look, he's sharp. I think that's probably, at the moment, what I've seen with the Metro and the Raiders, that they're pretty solid through that orange zone.
Yeah. And that's literally what wins, you know, the game for teams. And
oh, it's the little bobble as he's rucking, like he had great energy, awesome effort. Was just that final plant wasn't solid enough. But here's Paiwai rolls. Him and Awa Morris seem to be a bit of a combination coming through. Here's young Carson Happy.
some nice young players in this Barbarian side too. In there, so Hippie's on the ball at the moment, but you can see Mitta there, probably chatting to him what he wants to do. Awa offloads. And look, it was like watching a bit of netball there, the old pass back and forward.
Yeah, and this is the end of the field where they're hot in that green zone, attacking zone. This right to left from Mitta, straight from the hip, straight to the winger, checks inside and checks back out. Sonny Tahira, I think, scores in the corner there.
It's taken them a long time in the game, though, to find that flow, though, hasn't it? And I think they'll be talking about that at the end of the match, that they can't leave it that long before they find that finesse. So that's the end of the match, with the Barbarian side coming out on top, 10 touchdowns to 6 against Te Waipounamu. It's been a great match, and although the scoreline does say 10-6, the Te Waipounamu team were really in it for a long time. And I think the reason for that would have been that orange zone defensive policy, and I think Polder and their coaching staff would have really talked about keeping that Barbarian side off the line early, because they are lethal down there. So some standout players though for the Barbarian side. Portini did a mountain of work, and of course E4 Jones, who is a young up-and-coming player who's had a lot of touch this year. But Te Waipounamu equally having their young players stepping up. Angus Fawkes, the number 1 there, finding his confidence late in the game, helping set up those touchdowns and scoring one himself. And you see the teams coming in. Like Hika said earlier, the Barbarian side flying up early this morning, so taking them a while to get into this match, but they'll be happy with the 10-6 scoreline, coming away with the win. That's the main thing. Te Waipounamu equally proud of their defensive efforts. I think that's what kept them in the match early on. So some of their leaders of their side, Five Ash and Fawkes, they'll be having a chat to their lads and just talking about their attacking, what they're going to be doing for their attack in the next match, because I think they had plenty of opportunities, but just maybe looking at some sort of phase play early on. So both teams have another match coming up today, and they'll be looking to improve on their games for those next ones. So we'll go down to the field now with Hika Pene, who has some of the players from that last match.
Kia ora, joining me as the captain from the Barbarians, Shannon Tormity. Shan, your thoughts on that first hit out this morning?
Yeah, I enjoyed it really well. It was a hard, fast game. Good start to the morning, obviously. Been a long morning getting here from Hamilton. But yeah, it was good out there. Very good.
It's good to see you've got some really experienced players, and you've got some real young ones coming through. That must be exciting.
Yeah, that's good. There's a good balance right across the field. Young fellas, old fellas, and it's just good seeing the young fellas come through this path, at a high level now, playing against the men's, isn't it?
Now, I know Te Waipounamu, they really put some pressure on you through the orange zone coming out of your half. They worked really hard. It took a while to crack that.
Yeah, it did. We expected that. It's the South Island touch, Christchurch. They just run you, and there was a lot of. It took a while for us. I think it was second time we only just got away. There was still a lot of errors there, but yeah, big credit to Waipounamu for bringing it.
Awesome, and that's Shan Tormity, the Barbarians captain.
Touch New Zealand's coverage of the Premier Touch League is brought to you by SAS Sport and One Foundation. Live, it's the Premier Touch League.